Welcome to another episode of TeeVo The Beard.
You can't see it, but I think you heard it. The beard's stomach growl.
Yeah, just got finished eating lunch there.
Okay.
Yeah. And our new...
Are you okay?
I'm good.
You're good.
Yeah, chicken, cauliflower, edamame, and sweet potatoes.
Good.
Yeah.
So
I may take a nap halfway through that.
I think I heard it again.
I'm trying to eat healthier, and my body, I think, is rejecting the fact that wasn't potato chips and a hamburger.
I understand.
Yeah.
So things happened this week.
Yeah.
And we are really winding down. One of them is done.
Yes.
And
it wound up before it wound down.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're gonna discuss our usual spiel, but first let's get into some good news, some sad news.
Yeah.
And a little visit from our friend Art.
I thought I changed the locks and Art couldn't get back in here.
So let's just start with the good stuff. So as if some of you know, every station has slated their fall schedule.
Right.
Or pretty much next year's schedule.
Right, yeah.
One of them, and including that, they include trailers. Sometimes shows don't make the initial fall schedule, but they eventually get there. But the fact that they are picked up and have a trailer, it's a good time for a show.
Right.
One of which is Star Trek Discovery.
Yes.
I did not see the trailer because I am not the resident Star Trek person, but the Beard is.
You mean you don't follow like every Star Trek thing on Twitter and all the other social medias that you can?
I'm going to give a hard no on that.
Yeah. No, and I definitely understand. So, so this is something that was...
You are the guy. You are the guy that's probably going to be talking about the show. And I will ask questions.
Definitely will.
And that's good.
Yeah.
So what do you make of the trailer?
It gives me hope now. Because first it was supposed to come out in January.
Yes. That didn't happen.
Then it was supposed to come out in May.
That didn't happen.
And now they're not even saying a month. They're just like, fall 2017. So it's like they're giving themselves wiggle room.
Yes.
But we have a 2-minute trailer. So if they've recorded nothing else, they've recorded 2 minutes. It doesn't give much. It actually looks almost like a Star Wars trailer because it's a whole desert scene thing. And it shows that there's going to be a new ship because it shows the ship coming out. And it just has that very, Star Trek is here type feel. We've done it. You guys have waited. It's going to be worth it. And I'm hoping I'm right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to watch every episode. I know this already.
Well, good news is they extended their episode order to 15 episodes.
Right.
So that shows somewhat faith.
Yep. And we're going to have Klingons, but they don't look like Next Generation Klingons, and they don't look like original series Klingons, so
they're in between?
Yeah, all I've seen is a picture of that one so far, though, so I'm not going to be one of those fans that makes a snap judgment, because I don't personally like the aesthetic. If the aesthetic works for the character, when you have aliens like that, that's what makes or breaks it.
Right. Well, that's good for that.
Yeah.
Well, so you heard it here. The Beard will be tuning in.
I will.
If you don't, he will.
Yep. And
that includes me.
And either I will be cheering it on each episode, or I will be ranting about it on here.
Well,
or a combination, because sometimes you get that.
Well, you would hope in a 15-episode order you have enough to where you're not ranting as much, unless they just get everything just wrong.
Right, and it's not supposed to be episodic. It's supposed to be one continuous story.
Really?
So that gives me hope.
Okay, well, you heard it here.
Yep.
The sad news, so we lost some people today. And a fellow S.H.I.E.L.D. cast member, Powers Booth, who was in the Avengers. Yeah. And, but beyond S.H.I.E.L.D. and Marvel, Powers Booth is in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So this is not just a S.H.I.E.L.D. funeral. This is just a guy who... If you don't know who Powers Booth is, you know his voice.
Right.
He had a very powerful, distinctive voice.
I mean, his name is Powers Booth. He's already got a superhero name.
Exactly. So, aside from this past year we spent with Powers Booth, what other role do you kind of associate with the actor?
I don't know. He really became so much part of S.H.I.E.L.D., even though he wasn't in a ton of episodes. And
he was the bad guy.
And he was the bad guy. Yeah, it kind of makes it hard to separate the man from the character.
I will say, if you have never seen this movie, but I believe you have, but I think it was upon my recommendation.
Okay.
Frailty.
Right.
He was in that. That was pretty. If for those who haven't seen it, it's a movie that slipped under the radar. Rightly so sometimes, because it was in that Matthew McConaughey period where he was only doing romantic comedies.
Yeah.
So a suspenseful thriller slipped under the rugs. But, oh wow, that movie's sad. Really sad now. Not only does it have Powers Booth, but it also is starring and directed by Bill Paxton.
Right.
Wow.
Man.
Oh, man. Oh. Folks at home, I am just now realizing that.
Yeah.
That they are both gone.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, S.H.I.E.L.D's had a rocky road.
Yes.
No matter how good the season's been.
People who play Ward's mentor is dropping.
So Clark Gregg, if you can find shelter, that would be very nice right now.
But nonetheless, it's a great movie. You should watch it now for both Power Suit and Bill Paxton.
Right, yeah, double reason to watch.
Well, and also, it's just a good movie.
Right.
It's a good thriller. They categorize it as horror-y, but it's
more of a thriller.
Yeah. But it's a good thriller.
Good thriller, yeah.
So I always think of him in that role. And in Sin City.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think it was the first time I actually really took notice. I was like, wow, that guy has a distinctive look.
Yeah.
To go along with a very distinctive name.
But even with his name and voice, his look and voice and all that, he is still one of those that he was such a great actor that he could, you could fit him in all sorts of movies or genres and stuff like that. And you don't get that a lot. Like, you take someone like Robert Englund, who was Freddy Krueger. Even outside of the costume, he's Freddy Krueger. He needs to be in a horror movie or horror comedy, something like that. You can't throw him in a romantic comedy or something and just fit in.
However, I would like to see that.
I would. Now that I'm thinking about
it, not as the lead, of course, because I think those days are gone.
Yeah.
Sorry, Robert Englund. I'm not trying to put you down. But
he could be the guy that owns the flower shop that the guy runs into at the last minute,
or his boss.
Yeah,
his or her boss.
Yeah,
and everybody be like, "Is that Freddy Krueger? What is this a horror movie?"
Yeah.
But
now that I said it out loud, I'm like, no, I totally want to see this.
Well, my dream, if I ever accrue a large sum of money that I will be okay with parting with, I would like to build like this movie. Nothing like very special effectsy, but just almost like a comedy, maybe borderline romantic comedy, and cast people you do not expect to be together.
Yeah.
Like, I kicked around the idea of, I would like to see Daniel Craig and Queen Latifah.
Yeah.
Opposite each other.
Right.
Like, they are the ones pursuing each other.
Yeah.
And Robert Englund should be Queen Latifah's boss. And Clark Gregg should be, like, Daniel Craig's best friend.
Right.
Like, just something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the people who you don't expect filled. And that's the movie.
Yeah.
So if I ever accrue a large sum of money...
Let's make this happen. Let's start a TiVo fund.
I don't know what the story's about, but...
somebody write this. We'll do a Kickstarter.
I think the poster alone...
Yeah.
Of Queen Latifah.
This could be a 30-minute YouTube movie, and I would pay to see it.
Daniel, just the classic like romantic comedy, like shoulder to shoulder pose. Daniel Craig and Queen Latifah.
Because it would look like somebody took a James Bond poster and mixed it with a Chicago poster.
Yeah. But that's not it. This is happening.
Mm-hmm. And you could make it a musical, but only Daniel Craig sings.
And now that I think of it,
does not.
Well, now that I think of it, I would love Powers Booth to be in it as well. But rest in peace, Powers Booth.
Right.
And on the other note, a different spectrum, but nostalgic to me.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
For the music geeks, I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I didn't know if that fits your music taste.
I liked him in Soundgarden. I wasn't a fan of his solo stuff, but I didn't think he was a sellout like a lot of people claimed.
Yeah. But Chris Cornell, we were talking about, lead singer of Soundgarden, one of the forefronts of the grunge music era.
Very
who
distinct
you would think
voice.
If he very distinct. Who you would think after the 90s, if he made it, he was good.
Yeah. I mean, you can still turn on the radio and hear Black Hole Sun. Granted, they had a ton of other songs besides that, but the fact that one has made it through decades.
Yes. What is your Chris Cornell memory?
That was my first introduction to like actual modern rock music. I was raised on classic rock, so the closest I got to modern were people like Ozzy and stuff like that who have come over,
right? Who
are still the age of my parents,
right?
Chris Cornell was that person who
this is a new guy,
right? And I was in Atlanta visiting family, and my cousin Christy had all Pearl Jam, all that sort of stuff. So
your cousin was the new...
Right, yeah. She was the cool cousin.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. And and she had MTV. We had VH1. So it's like rock and pop right there.
All right.
So yeah, so she had Soundgarden. She pressed play on Black Hole Sun. That was the first song I heard, and I was like, my ears have been changed. I still love classic rock, don't get me wrong, but it was like, oh, rock still exists.
I remember hearing Soundgarden and most likely Black Hole Sun when I was a kid, but when I approached the grunge era, I was 5.
Right.
So I heard the music. I don't know these peoples by name.
Right.
I don't know the subject matter.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, some songs I still don't really know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But it was just sounds, and I remember it was not a bad sound, so aces to me. But my first real memory of knowing that is Chris Cornell was actually Casino Royale.
Okay.
Daniel Craig. Speaking of Daniel Craig, his first Bond movie. I don't know. Have you seen that one?
I've not. I'm kind of working backwards on Daniel Craig because I was always a Sean Connery, Pierce Brosnan fan. So the Daniel Craig, but then I saw Spectre, and I'm like, okay, he's kind of Bond.
Oh, I would say don't watch Spectre.
Well, I mean, but see, I'm doing it in the different order.
Well, here's the order.
So I wasn't spoiled.
Here's the order I'm telling you with.
Yeah.
His first one, his third one. Don't bother.
Okay.
Because
since I enjoyed Spectre, I'm really going to enjoy
Skyfall and Casino Royale.
Okay.
But Chris Cornell sang the lead-in song to Casino Royale.
Okay.
And at that time, it was Daniel Craig's first Bond movie.
Yeah.
It was the new type of Bond movie. We're not into the fantasy gadgets anymore.
Right.
You know, the first scene really set up that this is the grittier Bond.
Yeah.
Because at that time, that was the thing. Reboot with grittier taste. But something about his song just, elevated the opening sequence. And I went home and I was like, oh, that's the Black Hole Sun guy.
Okay.
That was really good. And immediately bought that song.
Then you just blew my mind because I unknowingly have a Chris Cornell song on my phone right here that I did not know I have. Because I have the Bond theme soundtrack that has like all 26 films themes on it. So I've listened to that and not even... Because his voice when he does his solo stuff... It's still unique, but it's not the same as it was in Soundgarden.
I think well, obviously he was younger.
Yeah.
And he's older by the time you unknowingly listened to the solo one.
Yeah.
But I think that kind of grungier sound wasn't paired with his younger voice. So it does sound a little different, but I just remember watching the credits, hearing the voice, I was like, this sounds familiar.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was really cool, and I just thought he was really cool from there.
So now I can re-listen to it with more appreciation.
Well, it's also just a great song.
It is.
See, here's the thing. We're now on a Bond tangent.
Right.
But here's the thing about, let's say, I'm going to start with just Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
That's the first person I really grew up with. His first 2 movies were amazing.
Right.
His next 2, awful.
Right.
At least the song in the third one by Garbage helped a bit.
Yeah.
Nothing saved his fourth one.
I mean, I cannot think of a bad opening song on a Bond movie off the top of my head. I don't even like Adele, but I'm not opposed to her Skyfall song.
Well, I was not a fan of Sam Smith.
Yeah.
Or Jack White and Alicia Keys in the second Daniel Craig one.
Yeah.
That's where I think the first Casino Royale with Daniel Craig, movie was great, I thought. Song fitted.
Okay.
And then you go to a sequel. Song is just not working. Movie just didn't fly. They redid it. With Skyfall, had Adele sing it.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, Adele with Bond? It worked. Movie worked.
Okay.
And then they're like, well, let's just do it again. But we get Sam Smith. And then do this other thing and reintroduce Spectre. You would think that would work. It didn't.
Yeah.
So clearly the odd number Daniel Craig ones are the ones you need to watch.
Okay.
I'll say that. But since you enjoyed Spectre...
I enjoyed Spectre, though, mostly because... See, In my old age now, in my 30s, I'm hitting that nostalgia point where everything was all of a sudden everything in my head in the past was better. But I grew up my formative years between 1990 and 1999. So I lived that. At the same time, my mom listened to oldies music and watched older movies. So that's when I say my James Bond is Sean Connery and Pierce Brosnan. It's I lived in the 60s and the 90s at the same time. So Spectre had a lot of references back to stuff like that I enjoyed.
And that was, I think, the the point of it.
Yeah.
It was supposed to bring it back to that point.
Yeah. Now, I don't think they should keep going on that route.
Well,
And I know they're supposed to be rebooting it.
Well, Daniel Craig doesn't know if he's still Bond.
Right.
Well, I have faith. I was like, well, if you come back, it's an odd number.
Yeah, so there you go.
So I feel like it's going to be good.
Yeah.
But before we get into our shows, we're going to have a visit from our friend Art.
Sorry, am I supposed to be getting excited here?
Well, so for those who don't know us, sometimes when we record, we're on a very not today though.
Yeah.
That I know of. Are you on a tight schedule?
Not too tight.
Neither am I. But sometimes we are on a very tight schedule.
Like like when we talk about Guardians for an hour and a half.
We're okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes we have a very tight window.
Yeah.
So imagine you are coming up to the studio and you have a tight schedule, meaning like you have to pick up the Beard Child, and pick up Mrs. Beard. So we got to get this done, like
now,
soon.
Yeah.
And as you're walking up the stairs, here comes Art.
Okay. I've got him in my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beard, I have a question.
Yeah. Is it a quick question?
I finally listened to all the shows.
Okay, congratulations. Or sorry, either one.
And I have a few critiques.
Okay. Is it something we can talk about later?
Well, no, I just have a quick question.
Okay, quick question.
So why is it that we're not seen?
What you mean in an audio thing?
Yeah,
because that's how audio works. All right, I've got to go.
No, wait. I have an idea for that though. So, what if we record ourselves? Because if I'm gonna do it next time.
Whoa! What do you mean if you're gonna do it next time?
Well, I'm the reserve guy.
Well, yeah, but that's like worst case scenario.
Yeah, but if I'm doing it, why are we not showing our faces?
Are you watching the shows now, though? I mean, can you even? Because last time when we talked, you had watched Riverdale, and
but that's the thing. Why are we watching shows, but people aren't watching us?
Well, I mean, I have no problem being recorded. I don't know how TiVo feels about that. The one thing that we try to do is have a little anonymity. That's why even our logo is, cartoon versions of us.
Okay. I have another question.
Okay.
So, what if? What?
Let's make it quick though, because I really have to.
Oh, okay. It's gonna take 2 seconds.
Okay.
But why don't we ask other people how they feel about shows?
What? Like a call-in thing, or
what?
I mean, we always tell people they can comment and
but why don't we just approach people?
Like in the wild?
I was thinking, those shows.
Because I'm an introvert, so...
I was watching...
I don't talk to strangers.
I was watching late night shows, and they approach people by asking them randomly. And what if we do something like that?
Well, it's kind of more complex than that. They're not literally just going out there. There's stuff going on behind the scenes. They have to get permission to show their faces. They have to make sure the answers are appropriate for television. And there's a lot more work than I think...
Are you in a hurry?
I am in a hurry. That's why I said, when we started talking here.
What? Are you sure?
But I'm still trying to be polite here. Yeah.
Okay, well, I have another question. Last question.
Last question.
Last one.
This is the last question.
Maybe 2 more.
Very quick.
2 more.
No more than 2, though. After 2, I'm going in and recording this.
But what if we go on a tangent?
I will do my best not to.
Did that just count as a question?
Yes. And that's the second question. All right, you're out. Oh, well, who let that guy in here?
Well, that was something I was gonna do last time, but I think I saved it for one of our episodes. But your quote just stopped me from wanting to do that.
Yeah, we didn't want to ruin the vibe of
that hopes and dreams quote. I had planned it for that day, but
okay.
But that one,
I squashed it.
That line just was magnificent. I think that should be on a. Someone should make a poster.
There we go.
Yeah. like a Instagram poster.
Yeah.
And put it on there. It was that beautiful.
Thank you.
But now, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting into our spoiler territory.
Yep.
So again, if you haven't watched it.
Yeah, and last time last time I don't think we gave much of a break in between. This time we are giving a break because there is at least for 2 of the shows, there is a lot to spoil.
Well, one of them for sure.
One of them for sure, because
it was
the
the
last.
finale.
So this time we will do a little music break and let people come back.
Excuse me, spoiler alert.
Well, and we're back. That obviously was unplanned, right?
Well, let's see. So let's start with iZombie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's get the small one.
Okay.
That's the smaller one.
Sorry, I had Lena's dress in my head. So.
Oh.
No, we can start with iZombie, because iZombie, this was in the 3 seasons we've had now, this was the funniest episode.
It was one of the funniest. I would say, I guess I never really saw the effects of her brain until this one.
Yeah.
Because the whole time I was like, now I'm sure this guy does not talk like that to adults.
Yeah.
Because
he talks like that to everyone.
When she started doing that, I was like, okay, come on.
Yeah.
I think this is a pure exaggeration here.
Yeah.
And then it caused me to really think of, what about the other ones?
Yeah.
Have I just not noticed it?
This is how... So in this episode, Liv eats the brain of a murdered preschool teacher.
Who is so popular amongst the children.
Yes. And even more popular amongst some of the moms.
But not popular to anybody that's neither.
Right. If you don't fit in that Venn diagram, you're out.
So when Liv eats his brain, she...
The smile that she has.
She is constant preschool teacher.
Yes.
And what caused me to kind of rethink things was when she started talking to adults.
Yeah.
In fact, she did no children.
Right.
There were no other children in this. Nope. It was only adults she was talking to, but she treated them like preschoolers.
That's because it does take, to be a really good preschool teacher, you have to have a certain mindset. Yeah. And that is not putting them down at all. Yeah. My wife's an art teacher. She has an art teacher mindset. Yeah. I couldn't do her job. Right. I definitely couldn't do preschool. So I have heard living preschool teachers talk like that to adults.
Really?
Not as far as like the sock puppet and all that.
Right. I think because Liv did all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, I mean they were obviously doing a lot of that for comic effect, but you know, I've seen the ones that had that big smile and they're like, "How are you today?" And the way they ask it, you would, if a normal person asked you that, not to say they're not normal, but if a non-preschool teacher asked you that, you would be like, "Are you insane?"
Yes.
But a preschool teacher asks you that, and got to put it in airplane mode. A preschool teacher asks you that, and it makes you feel good. Yeah. The way they ask you. It's like, man, I do feel good today. Like Clive shows when she's giving him stars for everything he does, and at first he's like, "What? How much have you done with this?" And then he's like, she gives him the big star. And he's like, "I did get that.
I earned it."
Yeah.
More fallout from the Blaine being human.
Oh, hold on before we get to that, because I did want one more.
One more
preschool thing. I almost, because I have a 4-year-old.
Yes.
When they're on the couch and they're singing "What's Gonna Work Teamwork," that is from a Nick Jr. show.
Really? That's not made up?
It's not made up. And they did it the same tune. "What's gonna work? Teamwork." Me and my wife literally LOL'd for one. I mean, I thought we were going to wake our daughter up. And I almost seriously fell off the sofa when they did that.
Wow.
Because I was like, that was, you know, as a father of a preschool, that was hilarious. That was like, you wrote this episode for us.
That hit your funny bone?
It did, yeah. Because it's like they went there.
Well, they serviced you well.
They did. So when I say it was the funniest episode, I mean, I laughed from almost beginning to end there. Except for the Blaine stuff.
The Blaine stuff is when it got real a bit.
Yes.
Cliffhanger, though. They ended the episode and we don't know what happened to Blaine.
Yeah. So finally they gave us an episode where we're like, all right, we're okay that it's over, but did it have to end there?
But in a different way.
Yeah.
Because Blaine, as we all know, the cure works.
Right.
The amnesia is just a side effect.
Yeah.
Short term.
Yeah.
In the scheme of things.
Mm.
Blaine is being shaken out of his business.
Yeah.
By his former employee.
Donnie.
And, his father as well.
Yeah.
And
But for a bad guy, Donnie's really coming into his own.
Yeah. And for that storyline, it ended with one of the henchmen shooting Blaine.
Yeah.
And
then stealing the money back.
And as a message from his
dad.
From his dad.
Yeah.
And it ended there.
Yeah, because he's like, I didn't want to do that. And we're thinking, oh, I didn't want to shoot you. It's like, no, I didn't want to shoot you in the stomach, but your dad wanted you to suffer before you died. It's like, whoa.
Yeah. But we didn't see anything else. So more compelling reasons to watch the next episode.
And also, I thought Donnie had the vials, the syringes. Mm-hmm. I actually believe him that he doesn't, because he makes a good point. If he had that, why would he still be doing his thing?
Why am I being the grunt guy?
Yeah. So I was like, as much, because I was like right on board that it was Donnie, and they like even mentioned that at the beginning of the episode. I'm like, oh duh, you guys have caught up.
Yeah.
Because I knew it wasn't Blaine.
Yeah.
I honestly think Blaine was trying to make his own cure to keep with that good guy thing.
So who did it?
Yeah.
That's another mystery. Mm-hmm. And now Major is hiding himself.
Yeah, he's a closeted human.
Yes. And a very bad soldier.
Yeah.
Again, along with his friend.
Yeah.
So it was a fairly normal episode, besides these strings that were left unattached.
Yeah.
One of them also being, so at the end of the episode, Major and his friend are, having fun times, and his friend is now fancying Liv.
Right.
Which,
they're both zombies.
Why not? And, I liked him from the first episode they showed him.
Yeah.
I'm glad they haven't killed him yet.
Yet. Yeah.
Yet. And then they get a call, and they're pursuing the people we don't like in the show.
Right.
Yet they got away.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, wow, you really botched that one hard.
Yeah. Yeah, Major as human isn't quite as badass as Major as zombie.
But then again, was he even that good?
Yeah, we still like him better.
We do like him.
Yeah, but at least as a zombie, he was starting to improve.
Yes.
But then he took the cure, and it's like, oh.
Yes, so they were essentially asked to get rid of these guys. Mm-hmm. They failed miserably.
Yeah.
And not only did they fail miserably, but the people we don't like in the show, who are set out to execute every zombie they can, now has kind of undeniable proof.
Yeah, and I think I'm judging by their reaction that was like plan A going in there was just get a recording of these. If you get lucky and get to shoot one, fine.
Yeah.
But I think their main plan was to get it recorded.
Now, I'm wondering because that truck is being bugged.
Yeah.
Surely they heard. Mm-hmm. So naturally they're like, okay, Major and his friend are stupid.
Yeah.
So let's I wouldn't be surprised within the first 5 minutes, we're just gonna take care of that.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Get rid of the proof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they knew they were coming.
Right.
So it's not like they they just happened to find this intel. No, they have intel on these guys. Well, supposedly all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, and that pickup truck drove very well with two busted front tires. Yeah, that was the only thing that I know we got to suspend disbelief. We're watching a show about zombies.
However, when you have
he announces that his front tires are blown.
Yes.
Not just a
and
tire.
We saw one of them at least.
Yeah. But it just drives backwards, no problem. Turns around, drives forward, no problem.
Yeah. While a zombie
that's not how cars work.
While a zombie is full sprinting.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying, I could catch up to a car, but I think,
if it only has two good wheels, you'd have a better chance.
And I am a zombie.
Yeah.
I gotta think I got a pretty good chance.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, suspend the disbelief, but at the same time, come on.
But, if you can do whatever you want with the zombies, but with the real stuff...
With real physics.
Yeah.
Come on.
The stuff that even, if I let my daughter watch this one, she would have been like, that's not how trucks work, Dad.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. You're like, thank you.
Yeah.
I like Peyton a little better this time around.
Yeah. I think that the episode could have existed without her.
Oh, well, yeah, but, it didn't... She did not hurt the episode like she has been
true.
This whole season. So
because even when she hurt Ravi in this episode, it was a very minor kind of misunderstanding thing.
Yeah. So, yay.
Yeah. Now we just got to find out, if her story goes anywhere next episode.
That's true. They did set up her... They did set up a story with her other than I hurt Ravi and I like Blaine thing.
Right.
So, yay for giving her a real story.
Mm-hmm.
So that is that.
But they only have one episode to tie everything. No, not one episode. No. I'm thinking of the other ones.
Yeah, I think they have a couple more.
Yeah.
I don't know how many because as far as I see, they're only going till the end of this month.
Okay.
But whether they have more than that, I don't know.
Right. CW, you got to get your scheduling in order. We got to start everything at the same time.
But speaking of the oneers left,
yes.
Let's go with that. Supergirl.
Supergirl. Yeah, Lena's dress.
Yeah.
That's the episode right there. Lena's red dress, her wedding dress.
I'm glad they addressed... I'm just going to full spoilers. Because the first thing I noticed, and this is way before I even started watching the show, is... Mm-hmm. So where's Superman?
Right. Yeah, we've discussed that before.
Because here's the thing. So there have been many times this season where I had to really suspend my disbelief on these aliens. Mm-hmm. Because, I grew up in the notion when Superman's on Earth...
He's protecting Earth.
Yes. Yeah. Not just Metropolis.
Right.
He just happens to live there and, I guess, protects them the most.
Right.
Or maybe because that's where they tend to all want to go.
Right. Yeah.
The danger wants to go. And so... You take a show like Supergirl, and she does not live in Metropolis.
Right.
She lives in another city. Mm-hmm. She protects that city.
Yeah. And from all the minor stuff, that's fine.
Yeah, but when there's cataclysmic events, you like to think, is he at least asking her if she needs help?
Right, a little text, something,
Just not like in a condescending way, just be like, need backup or anything?
Because it should be national news that a city is being overtaken by aliens trying to make that city theirs.
When the president is also there.
Right, yeah. So that shouldn't just be national city news.
It should not. So you would think, and the first sequence they showed of ships flying over places, troops, imprisoning people.
Yeah.
I'm thinking... Okay, where is Superman?
Yeah.
I think this qualifies as I'm going to come help.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad they answered that.
So for 44 minutes of the 45-minute episode, you're asking where is Superman?
Really?
Yeah, especially at that point.
At this point, the president is there.
Yeah.
Callista Flockhart is there.
Yep, we get Cat Grant back.
Where is Superman?
Yeah. We got Cat Grant. Who needs Superman?
Well, luckily they did answer that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I didn't watch last season's finale.
Yeah.
But I read that Superman was a victim of it as well.
Right. But it was we're only going to show him from behind Superman.
But he was nonetheless, affected by the season 1 bad guy finale.
Mind control.
Not finale stuff. Mm-hmm. Well, he's back at it again.
Yeah,
he really needs to work at it. But we don't get a back of the head thing.
No,
we get a full punch in the face.
Right. Yeah.
Because Rhea has kept her tracks well hidden.
Yeah.
So, again, of the 44 minutes of the 45-minute episode, I'm asking, where is Superman? She answered.
At the literal last minute.
He is working with Rhea.
Yeah.
Involuntarily.
Right.
So I was like, oh.
As the viewer, we kind of want that omnipotence a little bit, where you don't tell us everything, but like we know that Katniss is bad, where not everybody else knew that. We like to know this little insider stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But however, I was like, thanks for the answer, but man, you guys. Superman needs to work on his mind control bits.
Yeah.
Because this is twice.
He's a little too easily controlled.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
And that's not someone you want controlled.
No. Unless you're the bad guy.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. This one, though, I think it really picked a lot back in the making it a comic book show, because we have that whole enemy of my enemy is my friends thing. We have Supergirl, Cat Grant saying, if you need me... No, it's Katniss that said, if you need me, with Luthor, if you need me, call me. Mm-hmm. And they're like, no, we're not going to need your help. And when they said that, I was like, she's going to call her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she didn't even call her, though. She flew the phone to her and said, we need your help.
Yep.
And then the whole, Mon-El, if you need to marry her, and no, we're not going to do it, we're not going to do it. Okay, we're going to do it, but it's a trap.
Classic... bad guy is like, I'm going to blow up a children's hospital.
Right, yeah. Why so serious?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, sure, why not?
And then she's like, by the way, this isn't the only hospital I'm going after. National City has other ones.
Which, again, you're like, the world also has.
Yeah.
I don't know why we were focused.
Well, I'm not sure the size of National City. How many hospitals do they have, and why do they need so... And this is a huge hospital. Like where we live here, we have a couple medium-sized
But
hospitals.
just the notion that National City is like, I'm not trying to root the bad guy on, but it's like, there's like a whole world.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were aware that National City is not the only city.
Yeah. And it's like, and if you know National City is being watched over by Supergirl, how about go like next door?
Yeah.
Because we've learned these people can't just travel from city to city all willy-nilly.
No. And apparently, and like with Superman, she might not even know.
Right, yeah. So...
Because as far as we know, in the Superverse, there's only 2 superheroes.
Right.
Meaning, if you stay away from one of those 2 cities...
Go to South America.
Yeah.
Nobody
as far as we know, no one's watching after that.
Yeah, there's no super hombre.
You could have just taken Mon-El and...
I mean, Brazil's huge. You could take the entire country.
We're not disparaging South America.
No.
But and that's not just this show we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's really any show that does,
single location things, whether it's your central city or national city or whatever.
Bad things only happen in X cities.
Which is why, especially, they've discussed it some in the shows, but especially like in the comics, the good guys do get a lot of gruff. It's like, well, if you weren't here, these people wouldn't be coming here.
Yeah.
We think.
Until we need them.
We can't prove it because the moment you leave, they'll come attack us and then we'll need you back.
Which actually brings me to another trailer that I put out, but we're going to finish Supergirl before I put that out. But, so, that was my notion. I like the episode, and I think it's going to come into a very good finale. Yeah. But... Again, with Supergirl, I tend to ask myself a lot of questions during it.
But I like that we've come back to that comic book feel. And that's something you would ask in the comic book, too.
Yes.
Because we're not focusing on Mon-El and Kara. We're not focusing on Maggie and Alex. No. That stuff's still going on, obviously. But they're realizing...
Oh, and they drilled it into our heads.
Yeah, just in case you forgot.
They made sure we're not forgetting that.
Yeah. But it's still that thing where it's like, okay, let's put our relationships to the side for a minute. And, because... Yeah. Mon-El never gets punched by Supergirl for almost getting married to Lena.
Yes. But I will say, of the many things, and the questions being, where's Superman?
Right.
Why is only National City? And by that, why is no one helping? If you know exactly where they are.
Yeah.
The moment that made me kind of cringe was, so they rescue Lena and Mon-El from Rhea's ship.
Yeah.
Successful mission.
Right.
Yay. I'm going to stay back. Your mother deserves a chance to surrender peacefully. What are you talking about?
Puppy dogs and rainbows.
That was a pure puppy dogs and rainbow. And then she comes into the lair. Rhea's lair is like, I order you, I ask you to surrender, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like Mon-El even said, she's not gonna. If she was a peaceful person, my dad would be alive. Right. And I like that she even threw the line. She's like, I killed my husband because he disagreed with me.
Yeah.
You really think you can get to me?
Yeah.
It's like, that should have been your cue to pop out.
It's like, oh, Supergirl, I was gonna do all this evil, but you asked me nicely.
Yeah.
So I apologize.
You can somewhat fly in space.
Right.
I don't know if you know that, Supergirl. Like, I can see why you need to build that portal to get Mon-El and Lena out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you be okay.
Yeah, you're good to go. Yeah.
Ish. I don't know how far the ships are, but I think if you fly at full speed,
right,
you'll make it back.
Right.
In time for medical aid. But no. And that's where we got Superman coming in.
Yep.
So just that moment, just like...
If only she wouldn't have stayed back.
But then again, they want to answer my question.
Right, yeah.
So, give and takes.
Right.
But that just moment, you're like, really? Really? After all... She stabbed you!
Literally.
She stabbed you with a weapon that... One of the few things in this world that could kill you!
Right. Yeah, she's not playing around. She had a gun pointed at her by her own son, and she didn't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's not a good guy.
Yeah. So that's that was my Supergirl experience.
Yeah.
So but again, I can't wait to watch the finale. See how it ends. See what they're going to do. See what cliffhangers they're going to keep us with. Who's going to be in another ship that crash lands on Earth?
Right.
Is Mon-El going to stay around?
Yeah, we're hoping so.
I mean, I hope so.
Yeah,
because I am on Team Mon-El, but
right.
just I'm still like, huh.
I'm on Team Lena's red dress.
I am on Team Lena. We know Lena's coming back.
Yeah.
She is going to be promoted to full time.
Yeah.
But it's just the notion. Once the whole Kara, Mon-El, will they or won't they thing fizzled out, we haven't really seen a lot of Mon-El, which makes me worry. It's like, oh god,
are they trying to make us forget about him?
Oh, I don't know. We'll find out in a couple of days.
Yeah.
But the show I wanted to talk about before the Flash was Black Lightning.
Yes.
Did you see that trailer?
I saw that it exists. I have not watched it yet.
I think you should.
Okay.
They have confirmed, though it will be on the CW,
right?
Though it has a superhero, it is not part of the Arrowverse,
right?
And I'm like, yet. Yet.
Yeah, Supergirl totally is not part of the Arrowverse, but it is.
But it is. That's my thing. It's like, no, they're not going to cross over. Yet.
Oh, yeah.
Yet.
Yeah, because I love that whole thing. It's like Supergirl and Flash will never cross over no matter how many times you ask. Except for before it even moved to CW, they already did a crossover.
Yep, because they realized people aren't watching as much. We need to do something. So yeah. So when they say all that, it's like, yet. However, that aside, it looks like a very grounded family show.
Okay.
Deeps on the notion of family. But, with superheroes, of course. Right. But when you said the whole, well, these people are here because you're here. So if you watch the trailer, you learn that Black Lightning was the guy of the city. He was defending the city at great cost sometimes. Yeah. And, after one too many bouts with just everything, his wife pleads with him as he is soaking in a bathtub full of his blood that you gotta stop. Yeah. And instead of going, no, I must defend the city, he says, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. And he becomes a high school principal. Nice. But the city is more dangerous. Yeah. For now that he has children with this woman. So it forces him to don the costume again. Okay. With some upgrades. Right. But overall, you know what? I think we're gonna do another one of these. Okay. We're gonna break right now because this is the CW universe, and
yeah, this will be important.
We give it a chance.
Yeah. I mean, I gave Riverdale a chance. I'll definitely give Black Lightning a chance.
Well, I think this might be more rewarding than
So we're gonna pause for a minute and then come back and I'll let you know what I think of it.
So what did you think?
I liked it. Now I think we need to kind of rephrase what you said earlier because you said about it being family oriented. This is not for family. This is not family friendly.
No, but the theme of family because. Because
like
you didn't get you get it when you watch Flash, but
not in the same way.
Not in the same way, and you didn't get it from the trailer. You got yay, it's the Flash. We're gonna watch the Flash show, and then you see the relationships he had, with his mother and the father and his surrogate father.
Yeah, because this is a little bit darker. It's got a bit more violence and language just from the preview there. Because I let my daughter watch Supergirl. Right. And until this recent kind of arc with Flash, I would let her watch that. But some of the characters on there are getting a little iffy for a 4-year-old. But I wouldn't let her watch Black Lightning.
But what did you think?
I liked it. I think it's going to be good. I don't see how they cannot tie it into the Arrowverse. Yeah. Though.
Yeah. The way they say it, which is so clear that they're going to do it eventually. They say, well, we want to establish the characters by themselves. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what you do with the first season.
Yeah. Yeah. But then you're gonna do it eventually. Yeah. I just know.
Yeah, and I'm not saying he's gonna join Legends or something like that, but
But I think
there will be crossovers.
Yeah.
And at least with him and Arrow, just judging from the aesthetics of it.
Yeah. This one looks like a better version of Arrow.
Right. Yeah.
But I like that because I don't know much about Black Lightning.
Right.
So that's what Wikipedia and Google is for. So I learned that he does have 2 daughters, like in the show. Okay. And his 2 daughters become superheroes.
Which they allude to in the preview.
Aptly named Thunder and Lightning.
Nice.
Which, they allude to in the trailer. So, that little notion, if there are any fans who know that, they have questions, it's there. Yeah. But overall, I don't know when it's going to come in. Because that's not on schedule yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Being that they have the preview already up on the app, though, gives me hope that it's something that we're going to see in the near future.
But I like it. Yeah. I think it's one of the more positive first reactions I've had to a CW DC show.
Okay.
And I include when CBS, did Supergirl.
Right.
I remember watching The Flash. I was like, oh, okay, sure. I'm not sure about this guy being The Flash.
Yeah.
Arrow, I was like, okay, sure. Supergirl again, okay, sure. This one was like, I like it.
He looks like a superhero already. Yeah.
And what they were doing is he was a retired superhero.
Right.
So he looks like he has those years.
Right, yeah. Yeah, he's not somebody who... We don't have to... We're going to get some of his origin, obviously, but we don't have to watch him go through like Barry did. We don't have to watch a season of training.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's true.
So,
I did not think about that.
So that's going to be a nice change, because that's what we end up getting like with the first block of episodes is... And,
I don't know how to do these things.
Right, yeah.
So
this is going to be somebody, he might, have to relearn some technology, because it says that originally it was 2005 when he was Black Lightning, now it's 2017.
Yes.
Which also gives me hope that it's going to be soon.
Yes.
Or we're going to be watching last year's show next year. We might...
Well, iZombie's doing it, so it's not
That's true. We might have to watch him learn some new technology, but it's not going to be a
the training. Well, and also the training will potentially be stars.
Right.
But he himself will be, established.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's going to be that whole, I don't want you guys to live a life like mine. I want you to live a normal life. Don't worry about your powers. Yeah. That trope's expected.
Yeah.
But as a dad myself, I can understand that. I wouldn't, want my daughter to be in danger.
Exactly. But so we get seal approval so far.
Yeah.
And since she has talked about Barry a lot, let's move into.
I'm trying to work on our segues a little bit.
Let's get on over.
Yeah.
So that happened.
Yeah. So when it started with the little
and by that again, spoilers. The whole half of this show this season has been one goal.
Yeah.
Don't let Iris die.
Right. And this episode starts with 24 hours till Iris West dies.
Yeah. You're like, well, no.
Especially when they put that up there, I was like, oh, they're trying. That's the biggest red herring I've ever seen. Iris is definitely not going to die in this episode. 45 minutes later,
oh my god! You're like, oh my god, and I'm thinking, well, you already shot it, so you're saving money,
right? Yeah.
But oh my god, you did it.
Yeah.
And not that I don't like the Iris character, but the fact that you did it, I hope you, dear God, Flash, do not fix it within this coming episode.
I'm about to say they might fix it within a week, so I'm not holding my breath.
But it's just, if you're gonna do something that big,
right? You can still defeat Savitar, but leave Iris dead.
And it goes on the whole trope of why they, Marvel kills characters in their movies. They explain, aside from like Coulson or something.
Yeah.
These gotta mean something.
Right.
Because if they can come back almost instantly, what's the point?
Right. And that's my fear with this is, because I thought they were going to wait until the very last episode to kill her off.
Yeah.
And then we had to wait, throughout the summer.
Right.
But with this, it's like, oh no, you have more than enough time to just fix it and make this entire season worthless.
Yes.
By doing that.
That's what I really don't want.
Yeah.
Whereas, say Supergirl, I can't wait to see how they end it.
Right.
With the Flash, I'm worried to see how you're going to end it.
Yeah. Because, Supergirl left themselves a lot of wiggle room for where they can go. The Flash has not. Either you go with Iris is dead, or you, again, travel through time, mess everything up again, and...
Iris is alive.
Right.
Once again, negating everything you've supposedly learned.
Right. Yeah, because they even got onto him for going to the 1800s to get... Snart. Yeah.
Which was a great episode to have Captain Cold back.
Yes. Yeah, I love Wentworth Miller. I
do too.
I want to start watching Prison Break just because of him.
Oh, well. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
But just, please. I love Iris. I like Candace Patton. I thought she's played the role really well.
Yeah.
But if you're going to do that...
She makes you want her to survive.
Yeah.
But not to come back. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The fact that you did it, it's like, well, you've sowed your oats.
Yeah.
You live with it now.
Mm-hmm. So...
And again, why I hope... I guess in this show they can find many ways to bring her back to life.
Yeah.
I can't think of any, but I'm sure they have.
Do they have access to the Lazarus Pit?
I know.
See?
But, time travel is one of those things on The Flash.
Yeah.
But he has learned his lesson.
Yeah.
You can't protect everybody.
Right, yeah.
And, you tried. You get an A for effort.
Yeah.
This how half of the season.
Yeah.
You tried, man. And yay. But if you're just going to fix it, and by you, we're meaning the show writers now.
Right, yeah.
Why? What was this? You said, what was this whole season about?
Right, yeah. It's like that time he went back in time and made his mom alive and all that. It's like you're negating everything,
And then you fixed it, but you didn't really fix it.
Right. And at first we didn't like that, but you've kind of made it work now.
Yeah. But if you do it again...
Don't mess it up again.
But if you do it again...
Yeah.
I'm going to... You know what? I'll say it this way. The Flash is on the line for me.
Yeah.
If this finale sucks...
did it to me too, yeah.
If this finale sucks... We might be into Saran territory on The Flash. I don't know if you have talked to Saran lately on The Flash.
Not specifically on The Flash, but... Yeah.
He just catches the highlights.
Yeah.
We're heading into that territory. If you suck...
Yeah. This one episode can make it or break it, just like with me and Legends.
Yeah.
I will check out the first part of Season 3 when it comes out, but I'm not putting any money on Legends there because the final finale sucked.
Well, we all know how I feel about the finale.
Right. Well, that's how you felt about the whole show, though. So, especially the second season. So that's not really fair. But
not fair at all.
I was on board until, and it was that same thing. That one episode ruins things.
Well, because it's the whole. If you're going to, and we're talking not talking characters anymore. We're talking showrunners.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to put your audience through this trial, these tribulations with the characters, for little to no meaning. Why do we need to...
I mean, we want conflict. That's why we watch these shows. If we didn't, we'd just watch, comedies all the time.
Yeah. And they're wonderful, but, but we're not watching The Flash for comedy.
Right.
So, we're in that
we did get a little comedy.
But see, Supergirl, I think Supergirl saves itself for being so puppy dogs and rainbows.
Right, but you go in there knowing that.
But I know that. And there were some episodes this season that has not made me happy.
Yeah.
But I guess because it's so puppy dogs and rainbows, I give it more slack. Whereas The Flash, it's all about building the hero.
Right.
It's all about learning from your mistakes.
Yeah.
Being a better person.
Them again and again.
Exactly. Yeah. Which only so many times you can do that. And you're going to expect me to roll with this.
I mean, how many mugs do we need to break in a diner to prove that you shouldn't do this?
I mean, and who's going to do that now? Jay is gone.
Right. He is busy for eternity.
You lost Jay for now.
Yeah.
So, by God, we are at that point.
Yep.
And I know it sounds like I'm threatening a show, but I kind of am.
Yeah, I mean, this is the make it or break it thing.
I have stuck with you, but you're almost making me in territory of Wikipediaing every episode because you know it will be there.
We stuck through Whiny Berry, so...
And by God, comicbook.com spoils it immediately after each episode. So it's not like I'm going to be lost.
Right, yeah.
Just, will I dedicate now an hour?
Right. Yeah, because we make time to watch these shows.
Yes.
Yeah. Even before we were recording these.
Yeah. Like, I had a set day and time I dedicated to watch said shows.
Yeah.
And if you're just going to not satisfy me...
Yeah, our time is important.
And I've said, when people are like, why don't you watch this show? Why don't you watch this show? You realize there are so many other shows I could be watching.
Yeah. Chris was telling me he was behind on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, and I texted him back. I said, stop watching Gotham. Just flat out. He said no. But I'm like, that's how you solve that problem.
So, I could watch more shows. So The Flash is not up to my standards.
Yeah, I mean, we live in a time where there is a plethora of things to watch. If something doesn't drive with you, then don't watch it.
I don't know if I was saying it to you, but I was saying it to someone else. It's not like in the 90s where you got to watch this show, but it takes a few episodes.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, because... Right. What else is really on? Now it's like, no, if you're not going to get me, there are other shows to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was growing up watching Xena and Hercules, I watched those, and if I was trying to get other people in it, I was like, if you don't like this episode, check out next week. You're really going to like it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now you can be like, if you don't like it, you don't like it. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like with Gotham.
I mean, we've got...
Chris might like Gotham. We don't.
Right.
And that's 100% fine.
Yeah, because even though we don't like it, and we do rib on it sometimes, we don't think that it needs to go away.
Yeah.
Because with Fox, I don't honestly believe they can bring anything better to take its place. It'll just either be another reality show or something the same level as Gotham.
Yeah. So, but however, funny you say that because they are bringing The Gifted.
Okay.
Have you seen that? It's an X-Men show.
Okay.
Looks rather interesting. It's not important enough for me to stop the show again.
Right.
But you should check it out.
Okay.
Well, because you said I don't think they can bring anything better.
Maybe they can.
I think they are. But it has Amy Acker, so already I'm a little biased because I enjoy Amy Acker.
Right. And speaking of females in these shows, do you think they're going to bring Kate back?
That is another reason.
Yeah.
That is another make or break moment.
Yep. I did not like the way that was going in this episode.
That is another make or break.
Yeah.
Because I have thoroughly enjoyed her Killer Frost.
Yes.
Because I think she has the face that could go both ways of a villain and a good guy.
Yeah.
Not at the same time.
I mean, she's the type of villain that can trick you.
Yeah. But not at the same time.
Right.
And at this point, I don't want them to make another necklace or something. Right. Like, it is either be Caitlyn, be Caitlyn,
right,
or be Killer Frost.
Right.
So,
yeah, because her whole little monologue with to Barry there about Barry and Caitlyn working together, and he's like, "You're not Caitlyn. I'm not Barry."
Yeah.
It's like, she's trying to be though, and we don't want that.
Yeah. Because they tease it with the whole, my eyes aren't blue for a second.
Yeah. And then her and Cisco end up fighting. It's like, well, a minute ago, weren't you just trying to be Caitlyn again?
Yeah.
It's like, make up our minds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we could possibly be getting to the territory of comicbook.com. Hey, full recap. Don't mind if I do.
Right, yeah.
And blah, blah, blah. All right, I'm caught up.
Yeah. Instead of going, okay, don't read.
Yeah.
Avoid the internet.
Yes. Speaking of that, unless you have any more thoughts on The Flash for now.
No, because
our review of The Flash so far is questions.
Yeah.
And thankfully, we have one more episode to answer them. Whether they'll be good answers.
I mean, we stood by with Savitar being Barry.
Yes.
Which I'm still not totally on board with.
But I'm not hating it as hard as I did the Zoom reveal.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that one was almost heartbreaking as fans. But with this one, it was like, we kind of saw it coming.
Well, that's the thing. I think maybe we're okay with it because, we all knew.
Yeah.
Like, how you, Barry, the fastest person on the show, just figured that out.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah. He's proved he's not the brightest person in the world.
So, spoilers.
Yes.
So, like we say, set time to watch said things. I have a set time that I watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
Thanks to comicbook.com posting an article pretty much after the episode aired. Where is Coulson? I was like, well, I need to call some people.
Yeah.
So thankful to our friend Chris for letting me use his Xfinity. I was able to watch it a lot faster than I usually set time to watch it.
So live-ish.
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost. But it's just one of those, don't worry, comicbook.com got our back on that.
Yeah.
So what did you think of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I thought that it was an amazing episode. It was a great way to really wrap up the framework stuff, because some things got solved, some things did not. Fitz is not fixed.
Nope.
And I love that they didn't do that, because I was kind of worried that everything was just going to be
Puppy Dogs and
Rainbows. Yeah. Mac is not even starting to be fixed.
However, I want to talk about that because last episode, when he refused to come back, we understood him.
Yeah.
This time, however, seeing the dedication that Yo-Yo has to him, I'm thinking, I'm not saying abandon your daughter.
Right.
But
she's ones and zeros.
And I'm like, I'm not saying you should just openly do it. I didn't want her to just disappear from his arms like that.
Right.
But it's like, but
Marvel hits you right in the heart.
But I'm thinking you can make another one with...
Right. The fun way. The old-fashioned way.
One with the lady who's really gonna die for you.
Yeah.
So, and I like that while he's not fixed, he realized that. Right. It's like, we were in sync with Mac.
Yeah.
It's like, I lost my daughter. I am plagued with these memories of a full life with her. However...
And if he wouldn't have come back, I think, as fans, we all would have understood. Yeah, we would have missed him, but they'd been like, yeah, you got it.
And Yo-Yo, a little bit.
Yeah.
But I like that he realized that...
But they showed Yo-Yo coming back before they revealed that he did.
Yeah. But I like that he realized that, I don't have that life. But hey, we can make a version of that life. Yeah. And I like that. Yeah. So I like that, while he's still going to reel, as far as we know. Yeah. As far as we know, he's still going to reel from it. He saw it in a way that at least I felt like I saw it.
Yeah. From a story point of view, he has to be affected by it. Not necessarily to the degree that, like, Fitz or even Simmons, who has kind of gone off the deep end a little bit. Yeah. But... I mean, if you've had a daughter for, 9 years, and you have those 9 years of memories, that's got to stick with you. Yeah. And he's had her vanish literally in his arms, So, but it doesn't have to affect his day-to-day life. He can still be Mac.
Yes. Yeah. Well, as Daisy and Yo-Yo said, there are people who really care about you on the other side, and one who really does. Yeah. And it looks like he just realizes that. He got that. Yeah. It took literally the worst moment in the framework. Right. But he got it.
And he said, I'm not going to a war without her, instead of saying without hope this time. So I give the writers credit for not shoving that down our throat again.
They can make a new hope.
Right. They have the technology, both literally and physiologically.
Yes. So that was a good moment. Like you said, not solved, but it progressed. Even, we don't have to get to a stopping point with it.
Right, yeah.
So, Radcliffe.
Yes. Total redemption moment on him all the way.
These 2 episodes, full on. Yeah. Like, he did it.
Yeah. I was sad to see him go now.
And that was actually such a beautiful way they did it.
So, did you think your TV messed up?
No.
On that? When it went silent?
Not at all.
When he didn't finish the quote there? I thought mine did, because mine... Because I watched it live. At about that point, my wife had to go check on our daughter because she wasn't feeling well. So she missed that last part. Mine went from that straight to the diner scene. When my wife rewatched it on the app, it went from that to a commercial. So it looked like more fluid. It looked like, it went silent for a reason. Do you remember how yours did? Because I thought that...
I don't really recall exactly the order of how it broadcasted on the app. The Xfinity app, but I think if Radcliffe was still there and it went silent, I would have thought something happened. Yeah. But because, it had that shot of the glass falling on the sand.
But it was the beauty of his voice and the music both going, just stopping, not even like fading out.
But he did have a good redemption.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to miss Radcliffe, actually. Oh, yeah. Because he never wanted to be a bad guy. Even though, while he was being a bad guy, he said he never wanted it. We didn't believe him. Yeah. But
he just got put in bad situations.
He kept getting put in bad situations.
Right. Now, did he put himself in those bad situations? Well, especially with the LMDs?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's...
With Hive, not so much, but...
Yes.
Yeah. LMDs, he totally put himself there, but...
However, intent. Right. He said it from the beginning. Intent was never... This.
Yeah. He built Ada a little too well.
Well, the Darkhold didn't help.
Right, yeah. Or did it? So speaking of the Darkhold, we have Ghost Rider back.
Yes. Yeah. One last send-off to the character to do whatever Marvel wants to do with him next. Right. But I thought it was a good wrap-up on... Just the whole season was wrapped up really well. Yeah. Including him, one final send-off.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of obvious when he handed over the Ghost Rider power to Coulson, but they still did it in a very Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is very good at taking even obvious things and still making it good.
Yeah.
Where you enjoy watching it.
I didn't pick that up at all.
Okay.
But the only thing was, I thought something was funny that Coulson was wearing gloves.
Ah, yeah.
And I don't know if they meant to, but he was really showing that he was wearing gloves.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, whatever.
He was like, everybody pay attention, yeah. I've got gloves on.
I just thought I noticed that before the reveal of Coulson Rider happened.
Yeah.
But for me, I didn't expect it at all.
Okay.
I was pure surprised by that, and all the better.
Yeah.
It was a great moment for me.
Yeah. And see, that's the good thing about this show is you weren't expecting it at all. I was totally expecting it. We both still thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that Ada went out like that.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking that was just going to be another, like, chop the head off, deactivator sort of thing. No, blaze of glory.
Yep. But I like different callbacks. Mm. Like the first scene with Ghost Rider. We went back to the sound.
Right.
That was the first thing he did in the first episode. It's so cool sounding. I like they brought it back.
Yep.
Car came back.
Yep.
And he just charged in. Car on fire and everything.
Yeah. And he came in with a purpose, knowing what he needed to do and getting it done.
Yes. Which is actually one of those episodes, if you didn't watch the season, you'd be wondering why he was there. But for us, no, we got it. Mm-hmm. They didn't explain anything at all, really. No. There was one moment they explained a bit, but nothing we didn't probably figure out.
I must say, but not even if that was your very first time seeing Ghost Rider, nothing was explained. Because even the part that was explained in quotation marks, you had to have some prior knowledge.
Yeah. But I just love he just charged up in the car, walked up the stairs. Mm-hmm. I'll be taking that.
Yeah.
And in reference to the Darkhold.
Yeah, and who's going to say no? It's like,
oh, they tried.
Yeah.
and even
but it wasn't like a hard try.
Even Ada Ophelia thought they could,
Yeah.
I like, you're great about it. What have you done? I'll show you. She zaps him. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that's only making it worse for you.
Yeah.
You know that, right? And it was.
Yeah. Because, how do you defeat magic? With magic.
Yeah. So...
And I like that the whole making this world like the framework. I thought that they were going to stretch it the whole episode and make that the cliffhanger. I'm glad they didn't.
It's a cliffhanger for sure because Superior is still out there.
Right, but it's not. With killing off Ada, that's taking one big chunk out of it right there.
Yeah, but I like that it is somewhat because if you ask us, well, what happened with that? Don't know. Yeah, but that's not the cliffhanger.
Right.
And there were many cliffhangers. Yeah. Because as you mentioned before, Robbie, in this 1 hour episode we only really got, has tried his best to defeat Ada.
Yeah.
And he totally can. Yeah. It's just, thanks to her teleporting abilities, he can't get close to her.
Right.
She is scared of him. Mm-hmm. And she knows that.
Yeah.
And they didn't waste time on her trying to test it out. The full zapping moment... And he turned to something else.
Yeah.
She got it.
Yeah. When he could leave an actual mark on her arm, that was it. Yeah.
She got it. Mm-hmm. So, again, with their big plan, so Coulson and Robbie exchange powers.
Yep.
Because, Robbie, as he said, won't let me anywhere near her.
Yeah. But Ghost Rider will do anything to get her in the Darkhold.
Yes. and Ghost Rider took over Coulson.
Yep.
was one of the...
And I thought at first he was going to take over May, but I was like, that's too obvious because you get that whole fighting thing.
Well, because the thing that maybe another reason I didn't see it coming was because he was standing next to the portal.
Okay.
Where when Robbie came back to the show.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, oh well, you're going to do something cool, a portal jump.
Yeah.
Nope. Not at all.
Nope. A person jump.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you believe that Ada killed Simmons?
Yes. Yeah. I was totally convinced on that because we are at the point where nobody's 100% safe. Even with season 5 being announced, there's no cast thing saying these people are definitely moving on, like some other DC shows give away.
Yes.
So Simmons could have died, but where was LMD Simmons hiding? Where?
I think they literally just made her.
Yeah, because that was again trying to suspend belief, but it was like was she in a closet waiting to be just activated?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because as we saw, there was a closet full of daisies.
Right.
Who said that there wasn't a closet full of at least one Simmons?
Right. So, all you need is one.
All you need is one.
But yeah, I did. I mean, they made that. That was more believable, I think, than the Fitz LMD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think just because her attitude has changed so much in this, where Fitz, we were still expecting Fitz back then. With Simmons, we're expecting the gruffer Simmons now.
Right.
So.
But Coulson Rider defeats Ada. Yep. They have a nice little powwow after Ghost Rider goes back to Robbie.
Yeah.
Takes Darkhold.
Now, I've not seen the big movie yet, but his powers seemed awfully capital S strange.
It was a nod to Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what I thought, because he was like, I've learned a bit since you've seen me last. And I'm like, I'm thinking you're mentioning something that I'm not familiar with. But again, Marvel does it where
however,
I can still enjoy it.
Exactly. And it's not exactly the same as they do it, but it was just,
Yeah.
It was close to it.
Yeah.
But, but for a show, effects still look pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Maybe not, some things weren't as crisp as the movie.
Oh, yeah, but oh well.
Oh, well.
It works for the show.
But can't leave a finale with things answered.
Because S.H.I.E.L.D. is in trouble again.
Yes. Yeah. Well, first of all, Ghost Rider, Robbie, and Coulson talk about, the Rider just doesn't go to people.
Right.
There's a price. Mm-hmm. We just don't know what the price that Coulson paid was.
Right.
Anyone may ask, because right before Robbie left, he said to Coulson, "I don't envy you."
Right. He's just like an IU, and May's like, "What's up with that?" Oh, anybody else hungry?
Yeah. But circling back to Fitz,
because let's just keep secrets from people. That's been working out so well,
especially this season.
Right.
But circling back to Fitz, he was willing to stay behind and tell everybody, "Look, it's my fault. I'll take everything for it."
And he's not completely wrong. It's not just framework Fitz that did stuff he shouldn't. It was, regular world Fitz that...
Because if he didn't help Radcliffe.
Yeah. And then, protect the one head and all this other stuff. I mean, he had his hands in it.
Yeah.
So... Because, they're trying to say, you're not the same from the framework. It's like, he's not talking about the framework.
Yeah. But I like... that was such even though it was cliche... last moment of the year type thing.
Yeah.
Again,
we're getting the season 5 guy. Come on.
We know it's what you said before. We know it's happening, but it's still good.
Yeah.
When May says whatever price, needs to be paid, we'll do it together.
Right. Yeah.
And it was a nice moment, and I like that Daisy was in charge of that speech more than anybody.
Yeah.
So hinting, what?
Yeah, because, she, pulls back from episode 1 of things that she did. You know? It's like, remember when I ran away and dyed my hair and did the goth chic thing for a minute?
And we're like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we remember that.
Is that coming back?
Is the butt coming back?
Right.
And then Coulson was really the comedy of that.
Yeah.
That particular
Which Clark Gregg is so good at doing the straight man comedy, type thing.
I just love the line. Well... I don't know. Well, I don't know if we're really going to get locked up, but if we are, is anybody hungry?
Right. And they go to this nice diner.
Because everybody's happy now. Because, Fitz and Simmons, while they're not, the same, they realize that, hey, we went through some stuff.
Yeah.
We're gonna be okay. Coulson and May, hey, there's a unspoken thing between us.
Yeah.
Maybe we should,
speak.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Daisy's like, I'm back with people. Unlike last season where I left, I'm back. And, I feel like I'm good. Yo-Yo and Mac.
Yeah.
Are gonna totally.
Yeah.
It's totally spoken now.
I'm about to say, to keep it family friendly, they're going to Yo-Yo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just going to go with it. It's totally spoken.
Yeah. And I love the...
But we can't end on a happy note.
Yeah, because I love the scenery of it, because it's that, diner, so it's got that 50s, everything is nice, the world is great type look, but also because they're all at the bar, it has that very Last Supper feel to it also.
And by Last Supper, kind of was a little bit.
Yep.
So the diner just suddenly vacates.
Power goes out.
People vacate, power goes out, and we're thinking, oh, well, they talked about it, they're gonna get arrested.
Yep. And we think it's, Talbot and his men are going to come in.
Well, not Talbot himself, because...
Right, he's in a coma.
Yes. But he didn't die.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah.
So we're thinking, oh, well, yeah.
His mustache saved him, is what it is.
But, we're thinking, oh, well, they spoke exactly of this. They could be arrested. And Coulson said, oh, well, I like the effect.
Yeah, and then, very ominous.
And then the man in black, the G-Man, pulls out something, and we're like, okay, nobody's moving.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, you got 2 minutes.
And we're like, okay.
2 minutes to what?
And then we get to a time jump. Don't know how much. Yeah. They did not give us the luxury this time to tell us how much time has passed.
Because, of course, in true Marvel fashion, we get the S.H.I.E.L.D. logo with, we'll be right back.
Yep.
And then...
Coulson wakes up in a bunker of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't...
It could be a prison.
Could be a prison.
Yeah.
But he didn't look like he didn't know where he was.
Right.
He didn't look stressed at all.
Mm-mm.
He put on his boots.
Yeah.
And flipped some switches. And opened the door. They're in space.
Yep.
And he just says, enough sightseeing. Get back to work, Phil.
Yep.
That's all.
We don't know what work is. We don't know where in space they are.
We don't know why.
Yep.
We don't know who these G-men were.
Nope.
And let me say the most frustrating thing was post-episode. Mm-hmm. Entertainment Weekly posted an interview they did with Marissa Tancheron, Jed Whedon, and Jeffrey Bell.
Yeah.
It was a waste of my time. You know why?
Why?
They literally said nothing.
Nice.
To help in any question. They were like, so they're in space. Does this mean maybe they'll cross with the humans? That's,
That's an idea.
That's an idea.
Yeah.
So who exactly are to take them? That's a season 5 question. It's just all like back and forth. It was like, wow.
Yeah.
Why am I reading this?
Right. Yeah.
That no revelations were made.
Obviously, that interviewer had never heard of a Whedon before.
Yes.
Or they would have known going in.
Or Marvel.
Right.
Or Marvel.
But even with other Whedon stuff, it's like, they don't tell you anything.
But it was just...
They know everything.
But it was just so, like, question by question, answer by answer. It was like, I'm learning.
It was like, guess we got to print this still, right?
I'm learning. I am learning absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I think let's just get initial thoughts down. We'll wait till... We'll take a day in the summer. This is one of our summer episodes.
Yeah.
Theories on what could be.
Well, I do want to go ahead and get my worst case scenario one out. They've sent them to space. They're also sending them to Fridays. They're possibly still going to be at 10 p.m. on Fridays.
I think it's 9.
Okay. So, but still, I could think. My worst case scenario, this is the nail in the coffin.
Well, when I say we should dedicate an episode like theories on plot.
Yeah, no, I know that. That's why I'm getting this. This one's not plot related. This is ABC's way of saying just go out ridiculous and, make sure nobody likes this season so that when we cancel it after this, they won't miss it.
Well, we can miss it all we want, but I've said it since season 1. If you end it, please, God.
Yeah.
End
it well.
End it in... I'm almost certain just to say, I don't even care if it's a good ending. Just make it a definitive ending.
Right.
Yeah. For the show.
Which is why you can never watch Bored to Death, because it ends well, but it's not ended. Yeah. There's not a finale.
There are some shows where I forgive them for having a bad ending sometimes, but it is an ending.
Yeah.
I appreciate that more than a cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
So that I've commented on. I think only Marissa has posted something on Instagram. I was like, please don't end the show on a cliffhanger. That was my only wish. I don't care what you do.
Right.
Just don't end it on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
But...
Unless you put at the very end of the cliffhanger that agents will return on Netflix or something.
Or the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will return.
Eventually.
Like they do with the Marvel movies.
Right.
Guardians
of the Galaxy. And I kind of expected that with this one.
They'll return.
Yeah.
As in, or they'll return in said movie.
Right.
I am fine with that, but just give me a definitive ending.
Right.
And, I talked about it yesterday. I think that why they haven't done Agent Carter was because, in a sense, we know what happens to her.
Right.
Anything else is filler, really. As
but sometimes in January we need that.
But some people don't want to look at it that way.
Yeah.
Because the show ended on a cliffhanger, but we know Peggy is okay.
Right.
This is a little different with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
We know that Bruce is okay, but Gotham keeps going on.
Yeah. This is a little different with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. If you end it, there's no indication of stuff happening beyond that.
Yeah.
So you need to end it.
We didn't know who was going to be okay in this season.
Exactly.
So
whatever you do, because they've already said they are not being cut episodes.
Right.
Even though they're not coming back at the same time they usually do, nor are they coming back the same day, they still have 22 episodes. And I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm fully okay with that.
Yeah, because ABC's pretty good about keeping their promise on that. They're not like Fox.
Yeah.
You know.
All I'm saying is just do the season well.
Yep.
And I know they were adamant because, they got, Jen and Marissa got plagued with a lot of questions this season. Yeah. Oh, this could be your last season. Did you end it?
Right.
And they were like, we ended the season.
It's like, are you watching it? Because you'll find out.
We ended the season.
Yeah.
But they were adamant that they were not, at least what they know, the show did not end with the ending that we just saw.
Yeah. These interviewers need to realize that Marvel is not DC. They're not going to literally lay everything out in front of us and say, this is the order we're going to go in.
Yeah, exactly. However, I hope with now that they've seen certain things play out, have a B script ready.
Yeah.
Have a, this is our season finale ending.
Yeah.
And the, chances are coming back. Oh, doesn't look like it? Well, this is...
Here's the ending where everything just blows up.
Yeah.
Just everybody's dead.
Yeah. So that is my only wish.
Yeah.
And if any of you three are listening...
Right.
I don't think that's a horrible request.
No.
Because I am thankful 5 years of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really.
Yeah.
I am good.
Yeah.
So that's just that.
Yeah, so no more S.H.I.E.L.D. though for a while.
Nope, but next week we are reaching the end of the DC part.
Yes. Yeah, and then all we'll have is iZombie and Legion eventually.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Till then.
Yep.